fuck, dude. So at the beginning of this year, I set myself a goal. I wanted to push my creativity farther than it's ever been before in my life. And in order to do that, I wanted to make at least one video a month for the entire year. And it is March, and I have already failed at that task. So let's talk about that a little bit. So I shouldn't say I totally failed at it because I did actually shoot and edit most of a video, but I'm not publishing it because it's incomplete. To be honest with you, I went in with no planning and a vague idea of a story, which is the worst way to start a video, if you ask me. I had a solid idea of what I wanted to do. I wanted to make a video about cleaning up my garage and like romanticize it and make it into almost a short film. And I was just like, well, I have a camera, I have a creative brain, and we're gonna do it. We're gonna just, no, don't do that. Don't do that. Essentially what happened was I cleaned my garage and got the most boring looking B-roll shots. I'll play a couple. But overall what happened was I was focusing so much while cleaning to try to piece together some sort of narrative to a deeper meaning of the story that I didn't even think about. So it wound up not being creative. I got very boring angles, most of which were technically wrong as well, with exposure and white balance and everything like that. But also, like, it wasn't driving any story because there was no story to drive. I never figured that out, so none of the footage actually pushed a narrative. It also led me to trying to be too ambitious with a lot of things. I had a lot of grand ideas of like, oh, that would be a really cool shot. Not really thinking of, one, is it pushing a narrative? Which no, it wasn't, because there was no narrative. And two, do I actually have the know-how and training and practice in order to do these things? The answer, of course, which was no, I don't. I don't have a lot of practice. Main thing, I wanted to use my gimbal. I don't really practice with it, so it came out rather poor. And this also led to a lot of just unnecessary shooting. I would shoot stuff that ultimately I would never use for anything. It was just unusable footage. A lot of unusable footage, but also a lot of times where I was like, man, I really should have gotten this shot, or I should have pulled in tighter and got another shot here on stuff that I can no longer do because it's already cleaned. I wasn't gonna make a mess again after cleaning. There was just no plan. There was no area for me to work within. It was very much, oh, you have total freedom, which as someone who finally understands myself, I know that is not good for me. I need parameters and I need limits. So how do I keep myself from missing another deadline and not getting a video up for March? Well, I have a plan, surprisingly. I am going to be spending more time learning about pre-production, but also doing pre-production. We're gonna start off basic. We're gonna have a singular outline for the storyline from beginning to end, a full story, full idea fleshed out in outline, not full script, but outline. And also creating a basic shot list, so that way we at least make sure we get shot coverage for everything. And we'll mainly be focusing on the three main framings, like wide, medium, and tight. Not going to worry about too much about doing other kinds of techniques with cameras and angles and stuff like that, but at least getting those basic 3 shots for every scene or every shot is going to be very important. And I do also want to push my creativity, so the other thing that I will be doing is limiting myself to one additional skill in each video. Maybe this time it's just making sure that I have proper shot coverage with, you know, the wide, medium, tight shots, but also maybe the next video after that I can integrate gimbal movements for B-roll or sliders or different lighting techniques. I don't know. I have too much crap and I'll figure stuff out, but pushing myself with only one, giving a limit, because I feel like I would get too ambitious and try to do like 40 things in one video, and that's just a nightmare. So we're not going to do that. So yeah, we're going to make sure that we plan out the next video, but also make sure that we're not stuck permanently in pre-production. I'm giving myself 1 week from the day that this is published, which is March 1st. And I have 1 week to figure out my idea and my outline and all of that and my shot list. And that's it. I'm not allowing myself to pick up the camera to shoot until that is done. So yeah, I got a lot of work to do, but I really think that this is a good way as a new creator to find the balance between planning and improvising, because I do feel that, at least in my creative process, that I do need improvising. I need to be able to ad-lib stuff because it's more fun that way for me. Thanks again for sitting through a video. I appreciate every single one of you that has stayed to watch this whole thing, and anyone who's dropped a comment and stuff like that. really just appreciate y'all. So I'll see you again at the end of the month, probably. Peace out.